Welcome to our lovely future humans and to all of the 5D collective at IHP, or if you're new, we'll find out if you are one of us and from the future, because 3D, 4D doesn't know. They don't know. It's a bunch of different people. But today, actually, I gave you a gist of it, so I'll just start with that. The three things that have you have the capacity to embark on a beautiful journey, that step-to-step roadmap to your best life ever, or creating a better life. So, true well-being, which, by the way, it's an honor to have those who do true well-being here, because whether they are a part of our community or not, they're the brave ones, the ones who actually took the time to tend to themselves, either as adolescents with secure attachment, and so you didn't lose it, or they got earned secure attachment at some point. So the number one thing that is going to ensure your step-by-step very simple roadmap to best life ever is you owning the attachment category, not as a label, but actually knowing I'm self-led. And so self-awareness. Hypocrites don't do that. They're actually not half safe to us because we're self-led. They're just half safe to the ones who are still becoming strong boys and girls who are in grown-up suits. So I'm a functional inner child adult. My 1-year-old is here, my 3-year-old, all my child parts. They're just not upset. And then we have a lot more people who will join us. So the ones who, for example, have these types of sentences, I'm tired of being strong in a world that it doesn't meet me halfway. That's not, it's kind of like the life hits you hard, so that's why it's not impressive. The pain points that get dragged around. It's also not a good way to share with the adolescents how self-regulation works, and also mindset is very important. 3. Okay, so 3 things for a very successful life. Yes, you own your sense of self, you're securely attached, be yourself. You own your nervous system, you wield it consistently in ventral vagal state. That's because it's possible to expand your window of tolerance to window welcome. I know all about it with panic attacks, and fact, you master anger, sadness, and fear. I'm still learning how to leave alone these sad, weak people who chose consistently to disregard the signs through their thoughts, the mindset, and through their body's lack of energy, and a lot more to go and get themselves saved. And so when they're playing savior complex out there, and a lot more stories, well, I know how Stephen Porges explains exactly what those who have mobilization and shutdown, they make up elaborate narratives. And we have so many books out there, and believe me, as a mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group and a child of God who knows Jesus, I honor my ancestors. The difference is I also honor science, and science doesn't disprove God or the stories, but it has this capacity to prove our embodied brain works a certain way, and they're going to continue proving it. So I know, one, there's no demon inside anyone, which also confirms what Jesus mentioned, which is the kingdom of God is within you. So the one feminine element, which anyone who is of the spiritual community knows the truth, the one truth, nothing but the truth, there is one. It's called common sense. Thomas Campbell has a really great way of pointing that out. And then I have a lovely rabbi here who reminds me that we have people who are internally oriented, other oriented, and then the ones who are the balance of the two, and they're not concerned with either or, because what we're concerned with is that you understand common sense leads any human being to be of one of 2 types: kind, loving, and consistently able to self-regulate in their nervous system and be that which is an integrated brain, so safe haven, secure base. It's a securely attached, non-traumatized person because you process all the emotions that come up. And you don't get on screen and say, I just wanted to be a world with about what feels right, what is right, and think that you actually have no feels, which is really amazing. Gosh, I just don't know what to say. But I do know that Dr. Amy Apigan helps anybody who still needs someone, because their willpower and their determination won't matter as long as their survival mode kicks in. So she's really great. And those who care about themselves, that's why they go and do that. And then they know that the continuation is, we still have people out there who are irritable to us. But we know, Jesus taught me, forgive for they don't know. Blessed are those who believe without seeing. Turn the other cheek, Maria. And remember, where's my brothers and sisters? Hold on. I have that we all can be Rambo without the need or Rocky of the whole life don't hit you hard, but definitely if you feel misunderstood, that's your fight response, the adolescent that can use a therapist that will help you get out of adaptive child part and help you get out of dragging a pain point around, and then having sentences of the type of, you don't want to die because, you know, you're weak. It's because you're so strong, but you're up against all of the humans who don't want to help you. Did you know that the 16-year-old fight response, which is one of the child parts, will spite the parents? They will, and this is from a lot of researchers, just letting you know, and I fuck up the data, FYI, I remember this, but the way my teachers taught me, and they know all the researchers, I can go ask them for references, like, where'd you get it? The 16-year-old, the fight response will spite the own household because they're like, really? I'm going to show you. So it's, I'm upset at you, which is the ill-placed self-righteousness, where you feel that you have control, but you're really not thinking clearly at all, which is why adolescents, I will say, they should not in any way, shape, or form until the age of 25 and beyond be driving at all. Because when I hear about the whole thing, 16, yeah, that's way too young. Yeah, they're 18 again, and then yeah, there's hormones. No drivers. So some think I'm quite serious, and I say, yeah, I'm quite. I was 4. I said, no, I'm not coming in the car with you two. My twin went. I'm like, no, I went home crying, but I got told it's okay. You're too serious. That you want to sit them down and read. Yeah, that's nice. It's safe. You learn. You use your mind, which, by the way, your mind is a miracle. Thank you, Sadhguru. The greatest gadget on the planet. If you take charge of your mind, especially when you are young, you can ensure health, peace, joy, and an ambiance to explore human genius. Very true. So integrated brains, that's why the kindness, you choose it with equanimity. Hypocrites don't. They just like to say, I'm in a world that doesn't let me be, and there's conspiracies, and they're all going to try and hold me down, and they continue, which is why 3D40 ain't going anywhere. So again, remember, we are future humans because they already think we're not here, not to mention they think that there's some kind of a war going on in the heavens between, you know, and that we are in a big test or a big virtual reality. So I love how the human secondary consciousness of every human being cannot accept darkness. Expert yogis, we totally, prophets, the ones of us who are spiritual, the expert yogis, I hear it from Sadhguru, they are totally cool with dark matter, dark energy. I would wake up from my sleep and Marcus Aurelius told me, it's okay, Maria, don't worry about things you don't know. It's like, you know what, you're right, Marcus, let me choose to leave a legacy behind. So self-empowered people are the enlightened ones. We don't talk about us being strong against the world that is against us. That sounds ridiculous. And it sounds like a teenager, because that's the only time ever did we think, I mean, I know I just said it once and I'm like, you're not by yourself. You have a mom and a twin. What is this, pity party day? Like, really, this is, it's called You Have Emotions, Maria. Like, what's up? So that's how easy it is when you're self-led, which is why as a 45-year-old woman, when I go out and see Pinocchio with Peter Pan and the Lost Boys and Gargamel and then Ursula, and I got the Little Mermaid who's given up her voice, I'm like, wow. I use new stories to try to respect the drama kings and queens who will decide to dismantle modern-day therapists with their one little fingers and then look fancy as can be in suits. In the meantime, I will wear fancy stuff for sure, but not in the absence of the embodied true self that I am. So they betray themselves, they dishonor themselves, not me, not you. And God is all. So he is the only one. I have any person who wants to talk to me about God, he's discerning, equanimous love, as you may find out if you buy the book The Ways to God. I'm a co-author, and one of the chapters tells you a little bit about my story, and it's not hard as a self-led person to know you can choose to be kind, authentic, empowered, and actually tell me in my face shit. But not in a way of being Cusco, because that's not you really telling me something. So when I have a 0-8-year-old, that's the emotional maturity level of a person. I think, oh, Cusco, you got some, 5 hands? Which one are you going to throw at me today? Are you juggling? That's how an empowered person, who's a mystic as well, by the way, it's not fascinating. How do we grow from it? Like, why would I hurt someone's feelings whose feelings are already hurt? That's just not nice. So when people have a broken heart, it's because they weren't allowed to be fun, or maybe they don't have a twin to play. I was the bossy one, so I just play. And I was disowned by the time I was 8, so I was broken free, thank goodness, from effective realism. So I'm common sense, because like, emotions aren't real, Maria. They're not the truth. The truth is, how do I spot it? The truth is that scientists explain to you exactly how the embodied brain works. So when you meet unkind people, they all need therapy. That's it. And that's because they don't want to be self-aware, accountable, regulate, and allow themselves to be what would be called by Terry Real a functional adult. Because if they all were that, yes, if every human being on the face of this planet, all 8 billion, were functional adults the exact way Terry Real gets you to be, and so they would be securely attached, own the sense of self, let's make the world a better place. We would magic. It's already happening. But that's utopia, because, you know, again, that bunch of people are the cowards that Patrick Tian mentions. They think raising their frequency, and actually I've seen shamans and tarot readers tell people, come to me, I'll save you therapy. Excuse me, you're not the therapist. Why would you do that? That's not the health of the person. You're the spiritual journeyer person. Like, what are you doing? Are you competing by any chance? This is not a competition. Like, you have a role. It's I integrated mine, spiritual and personal growth, because I'm both. I love being a blend of things, but I love that science proves that which God already had told me. All your brothers and sisters, they can make it, but you're not. Your mind your own business is none of your business. They get to choose. You can't make them choose love, Maria. So that's not possible. You can open your heart, and then they can choose if they want to open theirs, because they have the key to it. And guess what happens when they didn't ever get a key? Because it's broken. No, because it's so scary to do that. So sad. Yes. So avoid mistakes and wasting time when it comes to all of that which is mystic, spiritual, mindful, mindset, living, loving life. If you're securely attached, great, or earned, then you're going to have a good time and you're going to reap the benefits, or whatever the word is. What I've seen works is that sciences are all helping people to get their health and wellness. And once those people are ready, they say, I don't do the rest for me, I want them now. And that's where I have nothing for those people. The other ones who pretend to be strong, they're just the teenagers who are on, you know, they're going to continue building groups like Flat Earthers. I mean, it's not impressive, but hey, maybe they're right, you know, like, let's give it to them. And I've just spotted another thing in my mind. I'm not sharing it. This is going to be private with my community, and then I really need to sit with it for some time, because it's a big one. So yes, it's not coming anytime soon. What I have seen ensure success is people who heal. So I have a lovely course, many, but one of which is with Dr. Daniel Siegel, and a beautiful lady who's healed from her disorganized attachment. And as she finishes this course with him that I got to learn about, because personal development still involves me working with people who have taken care of themselves, and spiritual growth, because they're also spiritual. Okay, so their sense of self is whole now, and they get to go out into the world and be safe. And they still have the one reference, which is Dr. Daniel Siegel, in her case, of a safe haven, secure base. And they get to be grounded in their body, and to actually, she's writing a book. I can't wait for it to come out. As she said, I'm writing the book because I want people to know that they're not broken, but they can be fixed, because she knows what it's like to have parts of yourself not wanting to be near the barriers. I got to learn all about it. So integration, the brain works. And when someone asks for a shortcut, there's no shortcuts in life. Oh, mindset growth hacks. We're going to have some episodes on that. But whenever I think of people who want shortcuts, I think of the lazy teenagers, I'm going to say another word, that I met in school. And as I'm in school, it's a Friday evening, and my professor asks all of us if any of us have any questions. I like to learn. I'm not a stupid one. Again, 4-year-old with books. Also, he usually would tell us if we had homework or not, and he didn't say anything. So my mind was like, oh shit, I don't know if we have homework or not. So I have a question. Do we have homework? All these boos, which meant nothing to me, because again, I'm not afraid, and I'm also not wanting to be a mediocre, stupid, moronic idiot. And I still don't like adolescents. They're still moronic and idiotic. And I'm very happy that we have better grown-ups, because there's a lot of grown-ups who are also mediocre, ignorant, and very buffoon. And I'm going to leave it alone, because I need to... God chimes in to remind me not to judge my brothers and sisters of human suffering, a waste of my fucking time. So with that being said, hypocrisy. To enlightened ones, it's every single human being who's abandoned themselves, who thinks they're a badass. In the meantime, I know the body is with distress withering away. And how do I grow from it? Because I chose, yes, Jesus, God, Holy Spirit. Also, you can't take away the soul from anyone. And also, by the way, even if I had to put the soul to the side, I'd say I don't do shit with cowards. It's actually hilarious. By the time I was 18 or 19, I'm like, hey, God, so... cowards, no Lucifer, just a bunch of people who don't know how to tell a 4'9" woman the truth in my face. However, I am still 4'9", so I think I need to I got busy with life, but the reality is I also grew up, so why would I spend any kind of time with people? By the way, when I meet those people who are grown-ups, it don't look good. A teenager version of them on themselves as grown-ups. I'm just letting you know, I'm like dude, I know there's some people think, don't say drama king, drama queens. It's disrespectful. You haven't seen 40. They don't want to come to you, and they won't ever, because they're superheroes fighting a superhero battle, saving the world from the dark forces of evil. Don't you know? Don't you know about a thing? So I spot the truth because authentic intellectual people are all over the place, and science and spirituality, they come together because we don't actually have a competition. Again, the kingdom of God, Jesus' words are true. It's within you, restored embodiment. So nobody actually who has faith will go against that which is clear if they get enough of information. And anybody who's asking for shortcuts with integration doesn't care to hear what the process is, but they also are skeptical or whatever, a lot more. I mean, to me, it's hilarious how all these people are actually skeptical about something that has a bunch of other people who have done the years of research, and their only reason they don't like it is either because they don't know enough about it, so they don't understand it, which means get curious instead of, I don't like it. Compassionate, how dare you all? So people are ignorant of it, and so they speak in ways that make no sense. But then once they start to hear about it, I don't want to be equanimous. That sounds so boring. So you'd rather be in that which is a distressed, very unhealthy body, I see, with maladaptive patterns of behavior, inner critic, outer critic, drinking, drugging, fucking, or making tarot cards where you fuck each other. They've made them. That's disgusting. And oh yes, let's allow people to continue re-traumatizing themselves. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think human potential is amazing. So every human can tap into their true self, like Dr. Daniel Fox says, if they put forth their best feet because they want to. And that's why, again, it's an honor for those who are here and who will come back, because it's an honor when you meet brave people, the ones who did the right thing. So you're either securely attached and stayed kind, self-led, and continue to know we're all angels. There's no demons. There's only people who need help. And then there's the other side who can go and hang out, because Tom and Jerry continue to want to, Tasmanian Devil, again, Pinocchio on the Island, Peter Pan, they're having a good time. We're not, it's not impressive. The people with the pseudo-intellectual, wow, like those, we're going to have a fun time. So hypocrisy is every person who abandoned their own self. Is that clear, hopefully? And they're not being their true self. So either you get to meet the true people or their fake self. And when it's a fake self, it is actually my facade friend. I love him to death. He got to be the only one who I didn't speak to for 5 years. And then I learned what insecurity does as a person as a grown-up. And then he was the one who also showed me don't have serious conversations with people that are facades, or if you do, remember, they'll show their real colors, which is if they are securely attached, then they're a differentiated self, and we get to continue. So differentiated selves, people who care to be self-aware, accountable, regulating, they could be still working on the secure attachment stuff. So it's not a 1, 2, 3 in that, because your self and your attachment is a lifespan. This is why spiritual and personal growth continue to be a part of our journeys, because we're always going to get irritated by someone or something. But luminous warriors, we have our prefrontal, yay, we're the wheel of medicine, body connected, your own beloved. So love, all you need is love, healthy boundaries, you give and receive with grace, and we know this and that are true, so we leave it alone and we get to be in our prefrontal and get curious about each other. You can call me woo-woo, pseudoscience, but be loyal to what you love and to differences, because that's what we are. We don't act as if we're loyal to each other with our differences. We know how to use a discerning, equanimous, loving mind and differentiate. And so nobody's lost any power, because once you've regained it, if you had lost it, you regained it. You believe in yourself. Magic is you, and there's Jesus. That's who I believe in. And God. I can't prove it, but the city of Naples, it actually is just like our mind. You can find beauty in the chaos, and that's something along the lines of how our brain likes to reorganize itself when it's flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. Dr. Daniel Siegel explains it way better. So we'll be back with more. Have a good one.